This little flow we're doing now is a mini practice that I like to do at times when I'm experiencing higher levels of anxiety, when my mind is racing and I'm worrying about what may or may not happen in the future. And as much as I try to talk myself down from that cliff, I know that moving the body is often one of the only ways to get out of the head. And the head can be so persuasive. The thoughts can really run gamut. They can take you to all kinds of scary, negative places. And so when I come onto my mat, I'm looking for the ways to quiet my mind, to get grounded in my body, to get grounded in knowing that in this moment, I'm actually okay. In this moment, there's nothing to do. What may or may not happen in the future may or may not happen, and I have no control over that. The only thing I can control is in this moment, what I'm letting my mind tell me. Am I allowing myself to get carried away and pulled into a series of negative thought patterns, or am I going to choose to recognize that these are thoughts and that's all they are, and there's no truth to them? I don't need to believe them. I can stay grounded in my practice. And so to physically ground myself, one of the things that I like to do are first to move slowly, to be outside if possible, and to do really simple movement to feel good. Do something that feels physically nourishing in my body, and to take that time to kind of forward bend, to take my head to the floor, to allow the energy to move more internally, so that I'm not so externally driven all the time by what I see going on around me, what I see happening in the world, what I'm worrying about, but to come back into the moment that is right now, to come back home to myself. And I find that when I move slowly, when I focus on simple, slow, strength-building movements, I generate a sense of capacity, of ability. I remind myself that I am physically strong, my body is capable, that I can do so much more than I realize. And often in these moments when I am feeling these higher levels of anxiety, often I'm able to shift something with a simple practice like this. And what's amazing is that it doesn't even take that long. I don't need to be on my mat for an hour or even 30 minutes. Often 5, 10, 15 minutes is all it takes. That little bit of movement, that little bit of breath and awareness to come home to myself, to be at peace, to be drawing inward, but not in a way that is obsessing about my thoughts, to be drawing inwards into my heart center, into my consciousness, where I intuitively know I am okay. In these moments, I like to do a lot of forward bends. I like to feel that head below the heart, which can be very calming on the mind. And so I'll spend a lot of time upside down, or, it might not look completely upside down, but even downward dog is considered an inversion because the head is below the heart. And so any position where we take the head below the heart can be really helpful at these times of greater anxiety. And so connecting the breath to the movement, letting the breath guide the movement, which is one of the reasons why I move more slowly, more mindfully, and really paying attention to sensation in my body. What am I feeling right now physically in my body? What's happening in the backs of my legs, in my shoulders, my ankles? Can I feel the sensations associated with my breath? If I move slowly, I can pay more attention. If I move too quickly, then the mindfulness is gone. And so What I hope for you in watching this is, yes, you can do this practice with me, moving, doing these actions with your body, taking these shapes, these forward bends, noticing the breath. And what I really hope for you with this practice is to be able to recognize that we don't have to believe the thoughts. The thoughts are there, but we can come home to ourselves. We can listen to the breath, and we can choose to feed the thoughts that feel nourishing to us, and we can leave the thoughts that don't. And we can remind ourselves that right now, in this moment, I'm actually okay.